This is your daily market review for Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at XP Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. Hopefully you're surviving, getting through the day. Holiday week, again, typically going into the Christmas, they talk about the Santa Claus rally. If anything, I think that's already priced in. We're more at what I would consider an inflection point. It might be time for the market to start to really see what's going on. Again, this is the most overbought I've ever seen in the market in my trading history. And there's a lot of evidence showing that, again, things are getting worse, but this is the thing about the market, right? It's going to convince people of the opposite before it flips. Just like at the lows, the world is going to end. And at the highs, everything is awesome. So if you're new to the channel, please check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions about real estate, buying, selling, investing, I'm your man. Please check out the Calendly link, book a 30-minute schedule. Let me know how I can help you out in any way possible with your real estate transactions. It's going to be an interesting market, to say the least, and I might start looking to put feelers out and lowball offers in if you're looking to buy. So also check out thetradingagent.com. Get your interactive broker bonus. Again, if you are holding on to Schwab and some of these other brokerages, Robinhood, please be careful if your money gets stuck there and survivorship because of the brokerage going out of business and you had some trades on that you want to close out and you aren't allowed, you might get stuck. Also get your 5.4 high yield from Goldman. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Again, there's tons of videos here on the Back to Basics. It's also on my website, The Trading Agent. Yeah, follow me on Twitter, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Some things, again, paying attention to. Everyone's looking for the soft landing. Again, that's what they typically try to convince people of before there is no soft landing. If you get a minute, check out the live chat we did today. It was pretty fun, interesting watching some names. We'll talk about some of that stuff. But as of right now, the first cut is expected in March. The bond market is priced in 6 cuts, which is crazy because they'd only price in that much if only things were, getting worse. Bitcoin, chopping at the highs. Oil, talked about there's a huge short interest in this going into the low end of the range. Feds would really hate if this bounced and the market dropped. That would be like the ultimate whammy. And natural gas kind of stuck here at the lows. I mean, it's, I don't know if there's much downside, but also don't want to gamble on it. The dollar had a big div on, or at least the UUP back at support. Again, down a little bit. Taking into comparison, it'd be basically back at 29. So it's just playing the chop game. TLT, big volume at the lows, big volume at the highs. Near term, again, 6 rate cuts basically priced in. Will it get choppy up here unless the markets are about to fall over, which I think is possible in time. The VIX compressing under the 20-day, like really impressive action. Vixen, same thing. Closing lows, chopping around this 15-16 area. Vivix waking up. Not looking too bad. I mean, something's got to give. We'll see what happens here. SPY holding up. Momo at the high. Yeah, I mean, we're clearing back towards the highs. I mean, you got huge volume up here, but chopping around. Be careful up here. Again, if you have any shorts, define your risk. If you are long stuff, please be smart. Layer out. Take your profits. IWM, is it attempting to break out? Like huge volume at the highs, which is interesting. Is it distributive? Is this a trap of the range highs? I mean, you can go back and just pull it all the way to this guy. Very interesting. That's all I can say here. I mean, I'd be careful. I mean, I don't trust it. It's been lagging, and now is it catching up? We'll see. And if it doesn't, maybe tech is what just gets crushed. DIA, new highs. Again, it's interesting. Like the rest of the world, like China's market at new lows. Recession clear as day in France and Germany, most of Europe. U.S. slowing. Market at the highs. Be careful. Gold. We've talked about this. I don't trust this until the Feds officially pivot, but it is chopping around, holding up at the highs. Silver, and this is what the problem is. Silver and the miners are not following because it's the problem. If they don't follow, they should be leading, actually, gold. Because these are things that are like the leverage bets. Like big money would be absolutely loading these things. And they should be leading up. They should be at highs, strong, but they're not. It tells you something. So be careful. AG. We talked about the 4s being an interesting level, especially on the monthly. I don't know if I trust it yet because, again, if there are credit issues, these are the stocks that are going to get absolutely buried big credit issue. Because again, why? They resolve around getting more and more and more money. They need credit, right? They need credit. And this is the problem if you have credit issues. The bond, we showed this previously, like those stocks will get murdered. Again, it doesn't really make sense. Newmont here just so far behind. So far behind. PAAS, same kind of thing. So far behind. So far behind. So we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Tech getting some names up, same names chopping. Taiwan Semi stuck. Micron has earnings tomorrow after the close, so be careful at the highs. AMD holding up around here, chopping around this 140. Look at the wick today. Just curious. Anyone look at the 10-minute? I'm curious how if we had volume at the close. No, not really. Just a pop and flop off the open. 10 cuidado. Be careful. That's all I can say. NVIDIA down today. Hits the 4 or 500 range. Backs off. Keep an eye on it. Intel, again, this mid 945, 46 range. Some long wicks up here. Some very long wicks. SMH, again, impressed that it's breaking out. Do I trust it? No, I don't, but time will tell. Again, seen a lot of traps in my life. Adobe drops down on earnings, bounces back to the 20 days. We talked about when you break the 20 days, it usually bounces back into the first resistance. Keep an eye on it. Apple, all day chopping, gets a little pop at the close. I mean, China's giving up on them. Just be careful. Amazon, so if you were short this or watching it, today's action, this doji, do you need follow through to drop? Like you want to turn this into a left-right combo. If it starts running higher, you got to run out. You got to stop out. Be careful. CRM holding up, considering the world back testing this trend line again. Keep an eye on it. Guggenheim, drop down, pop, chop. Watch this 138 to 140 level. Meta, I mean, literally, insiders can't sell fast enough yet. It's rising. Good God. I mean, again, I don't know when the best opportunity to short this, but it makes sense to me. Absolute sense. Microsoft, especially to short at some point. Microsoft chopping under the 20-day, lagging. We've talked about NDAQ. Love the short up here in this 55, 56 range. MicroStrategy, again, stuck because of Bitcoin. Chopping. Keep an eye on it. Netflix, I'm impressed. They rallied it back. I don't know what this has to do with. Maybe this is because of stuff going on with Disney and Elon and X. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but this doesn't really make sense either. Roblox chopping around. Like it at lower prices in time. Tesla, keep an eye on this. Because again, is it going to break out? A lot of trend lines in play here. Keep that in mind. So Airbnb is one of the shorts we have on. Chopping up here in the short zone. Costco announcing a $15 dividend. I mean, that's a parabolic monster rise. Keep an eye on it here. Because again, I would love to see, again, their ex-div I think is the 28th. So I don't know if it'll really drop until then, but it could flip over and peak because now you've priced in a $15 dividend. I mean, think about when they announced their earnings. It was at 630. I mean, there's plenty of meat on that bone to give up on. Starbucks, we talked about this is a global growth name showing growth, meaning what? Like world growth, world like interest in spending. This thing's been dead. It just goes to show you, right? This thing has basically been dead money. Not surprised it's chopping for a little bit, but it can't even get a lift. FedEx down, I think 5% after hours at 254. Slowing growth. I mean, it's just clear as day. Caterpillar, I'm amazed that's up here again, but look at this thing. This makes sense. Watch the short zones. Nucor, again, watch the short zones. Watch. You got references. Letter X, as we've talked about. Do not short takeout targets. Well, now, as I said yesterday, I don't think the U.S. government officials, senators, congressmen are going to want somebody buying an American U.S. steel. They don't want a foreigner owning U.S. steel. I don't think they like that. We'll see. I think the deal will get blocked. VALE, another global growth name, just chopping. Arrow, we talked about copper being oversold. This one getting smoked. Okay, watch this area. I mean, if you zoom out, you can see that there's, I'm just going to steal this box actually. And you've got resistance in this area. Support resistance. So keep an eye on that. CCJ, man, this is the thing. Uranium, been on fire. I don't like today's candle, guys. I mean, this looks like a chop top 20-day break in CF. We talked about ag names, like them long term, but let them just chop around. Mosaic, chop around. I mean, yeah, this thing's been beaten a little more than others. And NTR, same thing. Not surprised they're rallying a little bit off the lows. AA, impressive again. It was oversold. I mean, look at this thing going nowhere. It had decent volume. Watch the 200-day. I mean, is there another China stimulus? We know Japan's going full stimmy. XLF into the next fail zone. I mean, chopping around. Got to give it credit. JPMO, look at that thing rallying at the close. Get out of here. I mean, unreal. I mean, look at this. Unreal. I mean, this is incredibly overbought. So be careful. Morgan Stanley gets an upgrade at the highs. Look at the action chopping around. Bank of America, if you shorted this, I like this up here. It makes sense to me. Go back to the left. You can see there's some like room here, zones in here. 618. Goldman Sachs. We talked about this one. Parabolic shoot up going into earnings. Okay, we'll see. KRE. Talked about the juniors. They've peaked. I mean, look at that blow off novice gap. Just let it play out. XBI. We talked about this one being all over the place. Yeah. Due to rally, and then I talked about being careful shorting this. Is like, look at this. This is a big chop zone, sloppy chop zone. I don't know if it's going back to the range highs, but it's been dead money for a while. Solar getting some pop, and not surprised. Honestly, we talked about this, like waiting for them to pop. It looks how much higher? I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, I'd be looking at them. Sedge. I mean, we talked about how they were just dead. You got to let them rise to short again. All right, here you go. Maybe the gap fill. ENPH announces laying off a huge part of their workforce. Sales are great, I guess. I don't know. I'd be watching that 200-day like a hawk, especially this 150 area. First Solar all over the place. Absolutely all over the place. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Watching. Keep an eye on it. HYG, again, I don't know who in their mind would want to buy corporate debt. But, I mean, you're chopping in a big range. So be careful. USO, oil, right? Talked about oil. Overdue due to bounce. UNG, hopefully you left this alone. We talked about this thing was a piece of junk. XOP, not surprised it's rallying about it. We talked about it last week. Holding the 0.618. Could probably get somewhere in the 200-day. And now if it's holding, I would say the 140 plus range. Right? ExxonMobil, we talked about this drop, pop, and chop. Okay. Drop, pop. Let's see if it chops here and holds the 102s. Valero, again, oil and gas names, gasoline names, rallying. You got some interesting references here. Keep an eye on it. I've got an alarm at 135. MPC, same kind of thing. Got this like one, I don't know. I guess you could, this is hard. Drop, chop, pop. I mean, there's been a lot of try to look aboves and fails. So keep an eye on this one. Oxy, we talked about Buffett just not caring about this stock. He buys it, lets it drop, chopping around. It's just in a big chop zone. Again, a lot of people don't like to talk about it, but that's the thing. The market can go in a big chop zone. Same thing with EQT. It just can't seem to get over. Cannot seem to get over much of this 44. And last but not least, Flex LNG, because I think we will be a long-term natural gas exporter. So I want this stock to come down. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. Use the Calendly link below. If you have any just in general thoughts, questions about the market, investing, how can I help? That's all I ever ask. Let me know what I can do to help you. Check out the Discord room, link in the description below, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.